Exactly. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen, as we get ourselves into the action of this best of three. TNC versus Liquid. The loser is going home, so they better play their best if they want to have a chance of sticking around here at the International. And
ooh, this is an interesting, so we're going to see some tri-lane action, it looks like, by Liquid, as they're bringing the Chen in the bottom lane, starting with a Headdress.
A Headdress level? Look at that.
Headdress level 1 to get that bonus HP regen.
Changing the meta.
So let's see. Look at all the heroes of Liquid when they are going to be in this tri-lane. 7.1 health regen per second in an aggro tri-lane. Have to imagine they'll get a Bassi on someone very early too. So this can be a pretty strong one. They really want to ensure that Miracle just is able to farm either versus the Batrider or just pull him away from the Bat. So that's probably what they're going to be doing. Even with that Divine Favor, they can dodge lanes, as we've seen teams do quite a lot. Curious to see TNC, as we've seen them playing a lot, they really like their Chen as well, right? So this one was Liquid kind of stealing it, right? AU really likes his Chen, so
it's been first pick so many times.
Yeah, you have to imagine that they have a really good idea about how to play around this hero. So we're going to see how they can execute versus Liquids, as Liquid, they've played this combo a lot. They like their Chen Tusk so much, as they're able to get really active on the map early on, bring GH all over the place for free with that Divine Favor as well, and make aggressive plays.
Yeah, we're seeing sort of across the draft, right? A lot of heroes that we're seeing time and time again here at TI, but I'd say probably the rarest out of the bunch is the Troll on the Tusk.
Yes.
Compared to all the other heroes, like, all the other 8 heroes, I feel like we've lost count of the times that we've seen teams playing.
Absolutely.
And that could bode well, very well for TNC, with a very familiar lineup that they are playing with.
And a strong lineup of disables. Like Kyle mentioned, you look at the lineup of Liquid, they're kind of limited on their disables. They have Ravage and then they have Tusk, and that's kind of, their way of controlling the team fights. You look at the side of TNC, they've got Kunkka, Wraith King, Mirana. They even have Shadow Demon, who I feel like is kind of his own stun anyway now because of how amazing this hero really is. With a 61 pick rate and 60-something% win rate, this hero is insane in this tournament. And it is also a TNC. They're actually running their own aggro tri-lane, and they're putting the Batrider in the safe lane, making sure that Kuku can actually get something instead of just getting shut down completely if he was left alone or in a dual lane. They want to be sure to try to give Kuku a good game. Let's see how this mid matchup ends up going, as, like Panel said, Torrent, really good spell versus Templar Assassin.
You've got to imagine the Kunkka's going to have the edge, right?
That's what you would imagine, yeah. TA should be able to farm once you get your levels just fine, but
yeah, you're always going to come back as a TA, right? Like we may see in the lane Armel get the CS advantage, but he's going to be able to find the means to catch back up with the jungle.
Yep. As long as, that's the one thing that I look at, I'm like, they have to make sure that Miracle doesn't have to get resorted to go to the jungle, right? I think that's why they're trying to secure him so much, is because they have a TA on their team. If you have a point where the TA is going to the jungle, your Troll Warlord's going to the jungle, and then you're playing an aggressive lineup with a Tide Hunter, a Tusk, and the Chen moving on the map making plays, you're going to be extremely limited.
And they do rely on, of course, having the TA and the Trolls. Yeah, at least one of them getting one of those early items, whether it be the Deso or for the TA or for Miracle. We'll see what his build is going to be. Whether he
could be a
the diffusal.
Yeah, a possibility versus that Wraith King, of course.
Yeah, certainly should be expected.
Yeah.
And they'll need it to make those fights happen. As you say, they're already just reliant on the Tide and the Tusk to really get things started. They've got to make sure that they have actually someone behind that sort of play to do the damage, because unlike TNCs, they don't have that crazy amount of wham-bam magical burst and you're dead.
They might have to swap the lanes here. I think Kuroki might want to Divine Favor the Troll Warlord up top pretty soon, as the lanes are starting to get switched up, and now is where you're putting a Troll versus the Batrider. Sure, Miracle, he's still free farming really well right now, but we know how this matchup can go. You just get a couple stacks on yourself, and you just get chased by that Batrider, and you do not like playing versus that as a Troll.
For now, GH trying to do his best to punch him away.
They got the side pull off though. Tims is able to get that one there as the Mirana here.
Getting good control of that bottom lane. Kuku wants also try and hope to have a bit of a look into the CSs at the moment. He is struggling to find many of the old creeps. The same is to be said for Mind Control. It's a slow start in creep score at least, but they are both getting good experience.
Both of them were pressured really hard. The Courier, Tims, they brought the Courier bottom. It was still walking. He just leaps forward and kills it.
Oh, if only they'd waited a few more seconds. It was just about to be upgraded mid lane.
Armel, almost, guys, the side blades there.
Is able to X-Mark Weehar to make sure he cannot dive him. But that's it, yeah, the Courier down. That's someone's Wraith Band hitting the deck.
That's Weeha's regen. Also, he has one Tango. He still has a couple Mangoes, of course, for that too, but he can be a little bit troublesome here, as they won't be able to bring anything else out to him for quite a while.
is able to keep the CS pretty even between him and Armel. As we see the matchup transcend with Kunkka and TA, 90 for 4, 90 for 3. Very even between these two mid laners. Which is both heroes very good at getting the right clicks, whether it be with that hard-hitting base damage of the Kunkka or the refraction of the TA.
Yeah, we are catching back up pretty quickly there. So they are starting to recover both of those heroes that were aggro tri-laned at first, now able to start getting something, as MindControl's even getting aggressive onto Gabby here with that Mud Golem from Kuro. And like Panel mentioned, you know, this Tidehunter laning versus the Wraith King, it's pretty good. You know, he's going to be able to go for those anchor smashes onto the skeletons. And look, that's what we were talking about.
This bottom lane, you said they needed to get out of there. They didn't.
I feel like they should have
stuck around. And, I mean, you foresaw this. You said this bottom lane, once the level's there on Pat, he's just going to run them over.
Yeah,
and he does.
He comes back down bottom, too. I mean, they have the Divine Favor from KuroKy, like I was mentioning, to bring him up there. But, yeah, they're just choosing to actually keep this matchup. It's going to be really crippling for Miracle, though. You have to expect that's going to happen. Every single time there's a rotation from Tims, they can easily set up onto this Troll Warlord. But they're keeping it this way. They want it. That's why they want to lane it. They want to keep the Tide versus that Wraith King.
That lane in itself is still a bit of a scary one for MindControl as well on the top.
Yeah.
Has to be careful getting down low, just down to the Mango and obviously a stick, but sitting very low on the HP. In fact, there's the TP. He's going to head over to the Shrine.
Looks like they're actually going to bring the Chen bottom instead of moving the Troll Warlord, so it's still just trying to secure that Miracle's down here instead. So the arrow and the creep, Cuckoo, he's got Firefly, gonna get slowed up here.
Should be, I'll say that the Mud Golem stun's coming in, causing some issues. He'll pop the stick charge, snowball across from GHH, he's trying to kill, but he's burning. The Firefly's killing him, bringing him low. Tim's jumps in, he'll be able to finish it off. Cuckoo's fine. And TNC getting a third kill down on the bottom lane. It's 5 minutes in there at a 2K lead.
Yeah,
Liquid's refusal to switch those lanes, get a better place for Miracle is making this bottom lane a bit of a, it's just a beautiful zone for Cuckoo to have a dream start in terms of getting involved in kills.
I mean, TNC's probably thinking the same thing. They're probably like, oh, this is cool. We have Cuckoo actually lane. This is what we wanted. We wanted to have Cuckoo in versus that Troll Warlord, and even better that it's in the safe lane. That's the way that they set the lanes up, so. Gotta constantly see TNC set up for those aggressive plays.
They've got to be careful, Liquid, anytime they try and go for this bat, as it could backfire.
Aha. They have a good amount of slow. Now with KuroKy getting more creeps, he's able to, you know, get that the Satyr Banisher, but it's always going to keep getting arrowed. Panel mentioned that, the draft panel.
Tims is going to be happy with this.
Yep.
Thanks for bringing the big creeps to the lane.
The last one almost maybe caught Cuckoo killed a little bit because he killed the Mud Golem and the Shard Golems came out, but it ended up being just fine. But yeah, I mean, the 2K gold advantage, they're perfectly fine with the way these lanes are set up. Tims is, like we always say, Tims is going to start transitioning. He's got the first kills of the game. He's already top 5 net worth. He's same gold as the Troll Warlord down bottom. So the stacks, looking at Liquid at the moment, they're not actually setting up any stacks at all here, which we've seen a lot of teams doing, I think, more than ever. We always talk about that stack game. We saw how much, especially EG was doing it this morning. We saw like triple stacks all over the jungle. So we'll probably see them back up soon, or maybe KuroKy will send a creep to stack those.
See top lane, arm out, maximizing the damage, getting the Tidebringer hit off the creep, sets up with the X-Mark bow combo, and MindControl is taken out. Making those early moves and making the most out of getting that level 7 nice and early on as the mid lane Kunkka.
Yeah, crisp, easy rotations coming out. So the other thing they do have, as we see just used down bottom right there by KuroKy, that little Satyr Banisher, he's kind of keeping that one, not only just to put the pressure in slow, but to remove the sticky stacks from Miracle. So if Miracle is getting gone on, he can use that little Dispel on his teammate to help him out.
Back towards mid, Weehaw, he's coming a
really
little aggressive. What's he doing in the trees? He's going to be straight up dead, surely, yes? Yeah, there's no escape for Wee. As it's not only the bottom, the top lane, it's the mid lane as well. TNC, we've seen them do this before. They are getting every single lane in their control, and they're getting kills all across the map.
We saw what they were able to do. The games that we casted versus Liquid, they ran away with those early games pretty hard in the majority and just were able to just completely control the map. And it's only 8 minutes in, but we're approaching like 3K gold marks, and the pressure, like we said, Liquid, how do they get aggressive? The Templar Assassin and the Troll Warlord, I mean, they're still doing okay, but who's going to make the move around the map?
Wow, and which hero do you get aggressive on? Mid lane, another combo's laid out, and it's another kill for TNC, just finding any opportunity to outnumber and make the pounce happen. Because
looking like free moves for them. They're just making
really
it look pretty simple with their rotations.
And I don't know how Liquid can make a move at this moment, because not only, as you say, it's hard for their heroes, it's also hard to do it on the heroes of TNC. They've got a mid lane Kunkka. He's very tanky. If he gets the poke down, now they'll try, but a good disruption saves him from the initial combo. Tim's is coming in with the wraparound Armel. He's trying to run himself away, looking to get to the high ground. He's still alive. They're putting him out. He's getting back to the tower, but they will kill him off. They'll get the kill, but now the turnaround comes into play. Tim's turns, finds GH. Weeha's trying to dive for more. One more hit on Tim's will do it. Has the salve, taking him back up. Kuro's looking to dive. Tim's underneath the tower. Will be closed upon. Weeha gets the Meld Strike in, and finally Liquid are able to get some kills in their favor.
That's massive for them. Just able to set up, you having all these traps set up, Weeha with that aggression, actually able to get Armel when he pushed up too far this time. So that one, Liquid finally able to turn it around. That's a lot of space.
Because it is a big kill to find.
Yep.
As I was going to say, the 3 cores, they're not easy. You got the Kunkka, who's, when he's got the boat online at least, I believe just didn't have it available in that attempt. He's going to have that rum on him. You have a Wraith King with that second life when he's willing to put a skill point into it. And you got the bat down bottom, as we've seen before. You try and chase this bat, you don't kill him straight away. Next thing you know, you're walking through the fire and the flames, and you're dead.
TNC immediately smoking up. They know they can keep putting this pressure on here too. They still have, every time they do have boat available, they will make that move.
See in the river. TNC heavily outnumbering Liquid here. Miracle and GH have to be careful.
They're able to get, they're able to back up there. Kuroki also getting some deep vision during all these last few moments.
GH tried to come across a little closer to the rune. Arrow is going to be whiffed, but GH is going to end up rolling himself in pretty deep. TNC still a little careful about how they go on him. They don't want to try and force too much on a support kill.
They're losing their mid-tower because of it. That rotation, they left to go bottom to gank, and Weeha's like, oh, thank you. He comes in and does 1,700 damage to that mid-tower. Very important for Liquid, that map control that they can't get if they are able to actually get that mid-tower. So much vision and opportunities they can get from just putting even down TA traps deeper.
So they get the charge. Cuckoo got the Fireflies, who will try and get himself over the charge, but with the Troll Summon, they've got the control. Cuckoo trying to escape. They have the damage. It's Miracle. Those Axis will find the kill. Liquid now to start to even that net worth difference. Back off.
GH, even though he's 1-4-1, he's making the moves around the map with the team to at least bring them back with that. That tag team bonus really coming into play there versus Cuckoo. Can't actually get away from them as he's constantly getting hit and slowed and hit and slowed. And that allows Miracle to be a little more enabled too. That tag team bonus giving him that extra damage. That's tanking the arrow there, keeping that catapult alive. Nicely done by GH as well.
They'll look to try and outnumber Mind Control top. They know that the pressure's on bottom from Liquid. Mind Control, he's left. Very, very open for that play to happen, and they'll try and get a bit of a push on themselves. But Liquid, as it is, should be able to finish this tier 1 tower. No interest in TNC coming down here and trying to deal with the Chen Troll push for now. Tower will go Liquid's way. Diffusal Blade starts to get built into by Miracle.
That cuts the gold lead, the experience lead, completely back to 0 after that early game. Small rotations coming into play, but they're able to also get a lot off the map from Weeha. As he backs up, takes the mid tower, goes to the jungle, completely recovers. It's the TA who was having a little bit of a disadvantage matchup in that Kunkka, and now almost level 12, and the Desolator's about to come online. Look at these heroes.
Quick.
TNC's heroes, they can be pretty squishy versus that early Desolator.
They can indeed.
Even Wraith King, not that high of an armor hero. He only has the 4 on base and then your 6 extra with that phase boots. But still, that's a lot that's going to be coming out from Weeha, as he pretty much has it done.
Yeah, they'll have a good shot at being able to kill that Wraith King twice when they go on the hunt for Gabby. It's Gabby. Midas and 1,400 gold as he works towards the Radiance. Just a bit of a timer to see what point of the game he'll be able to get that online and how it's going to correspond with some of these core items on Miracle and Weeha.
Armel's really acting as the ganker here, walking through the Sentry Ward here. Can he get the X? He will get it on Miracle, and the Bat Rider boots of travel on the creep wave.
There's the setup. Tara and Poe will start to lay down some of the poison. With the Demonic Purge, Miracle can do very little to get himself out of this. Won't even bother wasting the 1 charge. Knows that he's dead. TNC find him out. A little too far on that bottom lane and a little alone.
But it is on their side of the map, so that's the one thing for Liquid is, you know, they killed him there, but can they transition into anything there as they have to bring 4 heroes? And look at Liquid. They are quickly running to the pit with that Deso finished up with the tag team.
Are TNC going to expect this? We have, what, the smoke up Armel AU. They're heading over.
They seem to know.
Illusion's going to be sent out first to start to scout any possible maneuvers, but they're still under the cover of the smoke.
Oh,
So it's not a ridiculously fast Roche. It's a good time with the Death Zone.
they're starting to figure it out now.
Can they get in the pit? The shards have blocked them off from getting in. Armel, it's a big torrent. They're going to try and interrupt this. Liquid, they'll get it, and they get the kill. TNC will get the kill on Roche. Liquid are able to continue to secure the Aegis. Mind Control will die for this one. So TNC find a little bit of action, taking the kill away. And finally, after a bit of time, finishing off Mind Control. But the Aegis is still secured by Weeha.
Who ended up getting the last hit there? It was
the poison,
TNC, but who actually, was it the poison? Yeah, I couldn't tell.
I imagine so. He got a few stacks on it. It's nothing crazy, but
Yeah, a couple things. Yeah, it looked like it was the poison.
that's a bit of money. I mean, you can see there, 3K back up. TNC with that advantage. But obviously, eyes are on Liquid to make something happen with the Aegis on Weeha. They can definitely look to try and push for some of those tier 2s, or at least the tier 1 that does still stand towards that top lane.
Yeah. Still tough to make those like aggressive moves, right? Until Weeha does have a Blink Dagger or they go for the Tidehunter Blink Dagger, it's going to be a little bit difficult for them to get on top of heroes. We still see them, they are constantly smoking though. They're using their vision. They're trying to keep these aggressive moves and keep Liquid able to play on the opposing side of the map because he's trying to make sure that he maximizes the farm for the team. We were worried that maybe they both resort to jungle, but if this is the way they're going to do it, this is a good way to keep the pressure up while farming. But TNC, they're all set up around their area here. These bounty runes. They're going to look to even go for the aggressive one. They are pinging it out. Gabby does kind of want to go up there, but Chen, they see those creeps and they know it's a bit too scary to actually perch forward.
And we'll be able to get the 2 up top though. TNC, so securing the 3. So they just make sure that Liquid struggle to get back in with the lead. Halberd gonna be the next pickup for Armel.
Best item in the game versus pretty much one of the best items in the game versus TI, that longer duration.
And Troll, right?
And also very good versus Troll, yeah.
Both of these heroes render pretty useless in the fights. Obviously a long time until BKBs are out. Miracle is going to start to build towards his after the defusal.
It's definitely grim for the Troll. You pop Battle Trance, you get disarmed, you stand there. Not much you can do about it.
And they've got great ways to play with that sort of time waves in the Berserk.
Yeah.
And the disruption, kiting him up as well. It's, yeah, disruption and disarm makes it a big nightmare for Miracle before he has the BKB. Top lane again, Mind Control. It's going to be the one to get gone upon. But the Kraken, but there's the lasso, dragging him back. TNC will finish off the old watermelon.
So much damage coming in from the Kunkka with that Tidebringer, with all these items. The Shadow Blade plus that Sage, extra damage coming in. Quickly able to bring down Mind Control, he's farming slowly in this game. Not able to really get that Blink Dagger, but he's matched up at least with Cuckoo.
See down here, the Moonlight Shadow being used for Gabby. It's just going to end, so GH eyes on Gabby. Arrow's going to whiff. Gabby's going to try and come in. In fact, onto Weeha. They'll get on top of him as well with Cuckoo and the Firefly. Tims and Armel turning up as well as they'll surround Weeha. The Tidebringer hit comes in. They take the Aegis out of Weeha. They're going to look for more. It's Liquid. A push to the side. Here's the second life of Weeha. Aegis, as he'll be able to blink away. Now looks to go back in, looking to get on top of Gabby. Gabby now on the retreat. They've lost Cuckoo on TNC. Can Liquid find anything more out of this? GH has got eyes on Tims. The trap's being used by Weeha to help continue the chase, but they don't want to run into the dark. They have no vision on the high ground, so they won't go any further, Liquid, as it's simply an Aegis traded for the life of Cuckoo.
Cuckoo's probably right with that. He's, you know, as we say, it's TNC. Cuckoo's like, I'm kind of the sacrifice. I'm not the real 3 position. Tims will eventually become that 3.
And sort of the time is ticking, of course, for Gabby. He has the Relic.
Yep.
Creep camp or a creep wave, and that Radiance is going to be done on the Wraith King.
And it's going to be a pretty devastating one. I know a lot of times we look at lineups and a lot of times casters always talking about there's so much magic damage on this team, there's so much magic damage, blah, blah, blah. BKB's so important. But you look at Liquids, they're not really that magic damage oriented in this time around. It's a lot of physical damage that is going to be coming out. So that Radiance, that evasion, all these little things are definitely going to start kicking in for TNC. And that Radiance is done, and they're already starting to group up. They want to keep it going.
It's there. He'll grab a mango as well for the trip. Gabby with the Radiance done.
Radiance, Halberd.
With the Halberd, yeah.
Yep.
They've got all those tools together, TNC, which is going to make it almost impossible for Liquid to take fights head on.
They want a greater form of initiation still, though. They want to get Cuckoo with that Blink Dagger, which he's approaching pretty soon. But Mind Control actually has his finished up already on the Tidehunter for Liquid. So those counter initiations, that's the one thing as a Bat Rider, you have to be careful versus Tide, because sometimes, you know, you grab a hero and then the Tide blinks past you and ravages your whole team. So So TNC, they're gonna have to be sure to jump. When they do these kind of jumps, they have to make sure they do it with proper vision to make sure that they can see those back lines to get the appropriate hero caught. And sentries, most of all. Lots of sentries in the lane to make sure you're not standing under TA traps so that Liquid does not know exactly where you're all set up.
So they've got that vision inside their jungle, Liquid, so fully aware of TNC setting up for this push up top. They may just have to let this tier 2 go though. Still not quite ready, I feel, to turn up, at least until that BKB's done on Miracle. The fights aren't going to be easy at all if they do choose to take them, and just leave sort of mind control to keep the pressure off. Already the skeleton's starting to really beat down on that tower. The damage is being done, the pressure being kept on by TNC at this early point. Set up down bottom from Armel.
They know someone's going to show down here. They haven't seen much from Liquid in a while. He sees GH. It should be a pretty easy pickup for them here. Snowball.
He's trying to use it there in an attempt to get away. Torrent will be off the mark. GH with the shards. He tries his best, but the vision's there from Cuckoo. Crossing over the tree line with the Firefly to find the X mark vision for Armel.
Buys time for his cores to at least farm. It's not even that much gold, right? 196 gold. How much XP do they get? They get like 630. That's actually a pretty decent amount. But yeah, he pushes the lane out, forces moves, and keeps his teammates farming where they are trying to get their BKBs. Because, like we said, for Liquid, they have mostly physical damage. But then we look at TNC, they have a lot of mixed and a lot of control. A lot of stuns, as the draft panel had talked about. So these BKBs for Liquid are going to be really needed for them to be able to take those fights.
Was, of course, a kill around the runes spawning. So TNC, again, will be able to secure the majority. 3 bounty runes for the one that Liquid's going to get the chance to grab.
They tried to also use that opportunity to get some deep vision down, but as we saw, Liquid was already prepared. They had the sentry down. Miracle easily able to get that one. So Liquid, like we said, they're just buying time. Right now is farm time for those BKBs. TNC, I mean, they're okay with farming as well.
Oh, they certainly are.
Yep.
With this Kunkka Ray King.
Midas and Radiance, right?
And Tim's, as you mentioned, the 4th core in the making for TNC if the game does go on. They do not mind this passive state of the game. Obviously, Liquid feel like it is the only way for them to play at the moment. You do have to agree.
They need BKBs to fight.
They really do.
Troll Warlord into this is way too difficult to fight when he doesn't have it.
He's pretty much got it, and the same to be said for Weehaw. So definitely, within the next minute, when those BKBs are out, you can expect Liquid to start to look to make those plays and look to take the fights on their own terms.
They have to make a lot happen with those BKBs too, right? Your 10-second BKBs are massive because once those start trickling down, that is one of the things that we know about TA is you get to the later stages, you only have a 5-second BKB to work with, it can be really problematic. So they're going to have both looking to come out actually at the exact same time. So this is a big peak here for Liquid. And they do actually also have vision right now of TNC with this ward here up on that top bounty room. So a lot of information going for them on the map. Mid lane is still kind of pushing in, so they have to address that before they can make too big of a smoke. So one person will take that one out. And Liquid, they're going to look to set up here. But TNC, they're positioned here on the high ground.
See, this is the all-important fight for Liquid. They're 4K down, they've got the BKBs. This is the time to swing that net worth advantage back in their favor. Miracle's going to look to start the fight with the wraparound. He's got eyes on Gabby. Jump forward from AU. AU's going to be the first to fall. Now they'll be able to focus down the Wraith King. Gabby getting his mana burnt by the defusal. Weehaw picks up the second. The exact kind of maneuver that Liquid was hoping to execute with that smoke and the BKBs. They're able to find a couple of kills, one of them being the big old Wraith King, getting Gabby off the map and opening up some space to pressure down middle lane.
Very methodically done, right? The way they wrapped around that smoke. Instead of just walking up to the high ground, they sent GH to the high ground, and then they wrap around the back to get the squishy supports as well as that Wraith King, who's still at this point, like we said, 5 armor, 5+6 armor. So he just gets easily brought down from these physical heroes of Liquid. And he switched the build. He's actually wanting to go for a more aggressive type build onto Gabby, that is, with a Blink Dagger. He had the BKB queued, he bought the Blink really quickly. So they want to be the ones jumping in and starting the fights, maybe killing units before they get those BKBs off.
I can see that, and I can see that for the escapes as well, right?
Yes.
You're just having the Blink of Wraith King, not only with the reincarnation, but you do have a Shadow Demon on your side. So you are going to have that disrupt into Blink escape.
They still have the axes, right? The Troll Warlord axe is one of the better things in stopping those instant blinks, but yeah, can definitely be used to get an escape off. And the big run, the big next timing, right? That Roche. 1 minute until it is going to be spawning. Liquid will always keep tabs of it because they have those traps. So TNC, they want to try to have something happen within these next few moments. Try to catch Liquid when they are split up. Yeah, Liquid, they're just farming the map. With that BKBs, they're feeling pretty comfortable now.
Yeah, whether it be getting a kill before the Roche is up or just making them use the BKBs, making sure that they won't have the BKB charges ready for that Roche fight. That's at least the aim of TNC, and you see it straight away. Smoke up. It's time to make a play. I know that they just lost sort of the last bit of momentum, but they can definitely get it back if they're able to find a catch. Miracle.
These next few moments are so crucial. They find the smoke also to a power rune. They actually see an arcane. They're kind of camping it here, hoping someone Liquid is going to walk down.
It is warded, so if Liquid had their eyes on it.
They pinged it immediately.
Yeah.
Hiroki pinged it right away. He's like, they're bottom. Yep, they're smoke bottom. He knows.
That's the risk you take when you take those power runes when you're smoked. And either way, it looks like TNC sort of knew it themselves. They grab the rune. They don't try and look any deeper. They don't go up to the high ground. They know that Liquid's very likely to have wards on the area.
They've got all their lanes pushed out right now on the side of Liquid. It's go time again. Like we said, those BKBs, they're also going to be constantly looking for fights. Also now, I believe GH is bringing a Blink Dagger. This is also another very crucial item for Liquid. As Kyle mentioned on that draft panel, a lot of different ways that you can, they're telltale the way the TNC spell is going to be coming out. There's a lot of ways that you can get some nice saves coming in from GH.
There we go. Smoke into Roche.
It's going to be a big fight.
It is scanned out, so TNC know exactly what's up. Cuckoo's going to start heading over with the Firefly. Moonlight Shadow being offered over by Tims. As Liquid will go for it. Take it out very quickly. Cuckoo's going to try and look for the timing. He's in with the lasso. Armel's in with the BKB. The Tiebreaker, the moment mind control. He's outside the pit with the Ravage. Armel already got the BKB up, but Tims is punched up into the air. Gabby's trying to tab, but a quick melt in from Weehaw takes him down the once. He's back with a second life. Blinks over to the side. Weehaw still trying to keep his eyes on Gabby. The Wraith Fire Blast slows down Weehaw, but the rest of Liquid collapsing on the Wraith King. As Liquid will be able to hold this area around the pit. Armel tries for another poke, but he's already used the BKB. He's got to be careful. He's out of mana. 2 big hits from the TA. Bring Kuka down low. As TNC back up to the high ground. Tims is in. He's trying for the steal. They are not going to get it, though. Weehaw will be able to secure that Aegis. Buyback for GH as he knows now with the Aegis in Weehaw's hands. This is the fight for Liquid to take. Torrent out to Weehaw and mind control. Miracle still on the sea escape, trying to desperately run away from those Shadow Demon illusions. GH and mind control, they're still on the front lines, punching up Armel. Miracle, he's thinking about going in, but he's incredible. And he doesn't have the Aegis himself. It's on, or it was on Weehaw. There's the jump forward. AU taken out. Weehaw once more. As TNC, they're getting pushed all the way back. Mind control's there with the wraparound. Bleak forward for GH. They've found Tims as well. As TNC tried their best to time it around the Roche, but this time they won't even get the kill. Both elements going the way of Liquid.
They're too tanky. They have too much regen and ways of sustain. Coming in from the Chen, he pops the Hand of God, pops him back. Fight kind of turns on itself. TNC, their damage just is not there. And we see Gabby. He looks like a support at this point. He dies so quickly in the fights from all the physical damage. Liquid, they're just knocking on the racks already.
I'll send a boat down mid, won't make the connection. 40 seconds, no Tims. Liquid more than happy to stand their ground and look to take this Rax away. Just 26 minutes there, they'll go for the lead in with the lasso, but snowball forward, Gabby throws out the zone. Armel puts the BKB, but he has to put the BKB in right. It's so much physical damage output coming out from Liquid. Miracle with the ult, he beats down Cuckoo. Gabby's out of mana, he's got to back off. The buyback comes in from Cuckoo. They'll look for the drag back with the X mark, looking towards Miracle, but he has the movement speed to get out. He's back in, has the Orchid, cuts down the SD, looks over to Cuckoo. That's a dieback on the Baron Rider as Liquid.
They're going to keep going.
Up the mid-racks.
They look like they want to keep going, but they don't have tier 2s. They look like they want to.
I mean, they know they can.
They're just going to go over tier 4s.
It's 2 heroes dead without buyback. This should be Liquid being able to close down the game. Tier 4s are falling. TNC, can they hold it to 3? They're going to jump in. Silence out immediately onto Gabby. Gabby, he's got to be careful. His Moonlight Shadow, the mind control, the Ravage hits onto 3. Gabby's dead the once. They'll look for him a second time. Stun out to Miracle, but Weeha's BKB is back and available as TNC are pushed back. Blinking aggressively from Weeha behind the Tiffle, behind the Ancient. Gabby's dead for 80. No buyback on him as well. Liquid will retreat. It will offer a little bit of mercy, a little bit of time. Weehaw still being fought by Tims and Armel. They'll look for the X-Mark, but Tims, he's been slowed down, run down. He's got one leap, but Miracle's into the raid for Weehaw blinks in, and that's Tims dead too. And with that, they could certainly have a good shot at closing this out. The fortification is there.
Armel is going to try his best with some cleaves, maybe setting them back a little bit, but they have the heal coming out from that mech.
Got the SD back in place. 7 seconds and Cuckoo's back in.
They're going to give him some respect. They're going to back off. They got the tier 4s. Structural damage been done.
Absolutely.
All that gold as well.
28 minutes in and the base being exposed, the Ancient exposed. Over the sort of the matter of those last few minutes of gameplay, 4 buybacks being used by TNC to no avail.
You have to be wondering if maybe in some of these situations like Gabby, he needed to go for a different, like an armor item in between. It seems like he bought the plate mail now later on after these last few fights went really poorly, but we saw he walks into the fights over and over again and he just melts. I feel like an armlet could have really argued to be a really good choice on him in this one because he just dies way too fast. He's not really having any type of impact on this Wraith King, while he has these other frontline heroes, the Kunkka, the Batrider, able to get in there.
We'll see it again. TNC just trying their best to slow down this pressure that Liquid's applying. And they just don't have the means to do so. The BKB timings from Liquid earlier just really set everything in motion for their lineup.
And too much sustain. The Chen just rallied around Kuroki, having all that different types of healing coming in. Even the Vlads, more healing coming in for those carries. Yeah, you can see. A bit frustrated.
GH still in the zone. Keeping it focused. As much as it looked like the game would end, it's going to be for now. They do hold the Ancient.
They have such a commanding lead now, though. We saw the last few fights without these other items picked up. Miracle, a full Satanic. The Orchid we saw, of course, by Weehan that last fight. And even now a Solar Crest for My Control. So these carries, who are hitting extremely hard, now are going to be hitting even harder versus this, what became a super squishy Wraith King after having such a good farm.
It really did. It really did. And we have seen TNC make some remarkable comebacks in the group stage. And they do it here on the main stage. This game is getting quickly out of control for them.
It feels like their damage is, they've hit a wall of damage, pretty much. Liquid just able to counteract it too much. Sure, TNC, they keep coming back in, they throw a Tidebringer, they throw a Starstorm, then they leap back out. They have a lot of different ways to like poke and prod, but yeah, Liquid, they just rally and group up, and it's too much right now for TNC to take. Around this Tidehunter, like we said, this hero has been also winning a lot of games, just the way that the group up, the team fights that happen, the way that you're able to just counter-initiate and just ruin the whole entire idea and the way the TNC wanted to fight.
And of course, as you mentioned, sort of that all-important hero there, the power of who gets the Chen in this series.
Yep.
And whether we see Kuro being able to grab it for Liquid or AO being able to bring it out for TNC is going to be quite a deciding pick in the drafts.
Absolutely. I mean, you see him. He's 1-0 and 13. It's not even like TNC is like hemorrhaging kills all over the place. Armel is 6-1 and 4 in this game. It's pretty remarkable the way that they can just group up around this hero, around the Tidehunter as well, and just start to close the map and win a couple fights and just snowball out of control. It's what we see a lot happen with these Templar Assassins. These 30-minute pushes, these 25-minute pushes with an Aegis, able to really just take over your advantage. As yeah, Liquid, they're just controlling the map now, and Gabby trying to find some farm on the map, hiding in the trees with his Radiance off. But Liquid, they want blood. Kuroki wants blood too, look at him.
He's ready.
Pretty fierce stance there.
He's got that fighting face on. They'll continue to just clean up the easy free money. Another shrine will fall.
You can tell TNC's feeling pretty desperate. Trying to get any type of forms of farm on the map. Gabby pushing far forward. Cuckoo as well trying to cut waves. Liquid.
To the base they go there, AU. Getting smashed by the anchor. We are in with the quick finishing blow. As this 5-man of Liquid just seems a little too powerful right now. This draft for TNC to deal with and hold back at the 32-minute point. Into the base they go, Liquid. Ancient starting to get poked upon by Miracle.
Just put him in that front lines there. He has Satanic, he has BKB, he has Solar Crest. Throne's going down. Gabby needs to jump in.
He's going to try for the jump. Snowball comes out. They'll turn quickly, looking to burst him down the first. And in fact, he's out of mana. He's dead without a chance.
Short.
Incarnate. They burn his mana. They burn his life. Ravage is out from My Control. They're all dying again on TNC as Liquid will push Armel back to the base. And GG is called. This game was over at least about 5 minutes ago. They tried for one last shot. It's the main stage. You've got to do it. But game one without